And have her come to the stand, Miss Wanda Simon. Limpy Gimpy Wanda Simon.
Thank you. I actually don't have to limp. I'm just looking for sympathy, so. Dewey, please introduce the all counter roll.
Thank you. I'm the counter today. I will be counting the times that you say I mean, and you'll hear that bell when you do that. We're looking to eliminate our filler words, improve our grammar, and overall improve our speaking over time. So when you hear the bell, you don't have to stop and pause because that'll get another ring because of the pregnant pause. Just keep on talking. If you start a sentence with and or so, I'll try to catch that as well. If you're doing your icebreaker speech, you're free from the bell.
Our favorite part of the meeting is Word of the Day by Philip Borden.
Thank you. In case I say something I'm not supposed to, this is my icebreaker speech, just so you know. The word of the day today is the word articulate. There are actually two different ways to pronounce it, depending on how you use it. That'll stay. Articulate is a verb to describe the action, and it means to express or state clearly. For example, I could say, Joe stated the problem, but he should also clearly articulate his request. You can also say articulate. It can be an adjective to describe a person. That means characterized by clear, expressive language. For example, during the interview, Joe stumbled at first, but later showed himself to be very articulate. Do you hear the difference? He's very articulate because he can articulate well. I will be listening for either or both uses of the word of the day today, in addition to how well you articulate throughout the rest of the meeting, Madam Toastmaster.
Did you choose that word of the day because you think I articulate well, or the opposite? See, Shirley, your speech just got canceled. Toastmaster Minute today, Adrian Duncan.
Good morning, afternoon. No one heard either one. Well, I guess I'm not articulate enough. Surprised, I'm telling you, I am surprised. Two questions. When you show up to a meeting and you are well prepared, what would be the first option you would need if you were going to become one of the elite in this group or this club? What would one of the things you need? Tell me somebody's. Tell me your name and tell me what you would do if you were in this room and to be elite, to articulate what's happening in this room. What? Listen, number one. Number two. What would number two?
Be prepared.
Be prepared with what? And what would that be if you were doing a position? What would you need to articulate that particular position? A manual! Oh! That's the word I'm looking for. Who has a manual in this room today? All right, come get this. Who does? Who else? How many? Philip. Okay, right here. How many have, count, see how many we have. How many has the CL? What is a CL? Competent leader.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Give them each one of these coins. 8. All right. And how many have their competent communicators? All right. How many competent communicators? One of the things that Philip and I are doing are articulating to communicate, well, with those in North Little Rock. Is it North Little Rock?
Yes.
St. Vincent's? We are asking each one of you that's in this room today to articulate to help the North St. Vincent's Club to fulfill and complete your CC. What is a CC? Competent communicator. What is a CL? Competent leader. In order to help our club, we want you to complete your CL or CC. The ones of you today that have been given a coin, please attach it to your CL manual and your CC manual so that you will remember to carry it with you. There's 5 places that you need to have your manual with you. Where are the 5 places that you need your manual? One meeting, yes, in the club meeting. Number 2, where's the other one? Yes, that's perfect. Hey, look at this. Number 3, where's number 3? At your office desk. Yes, look at this guy. Wow, where's number 4? At home, where in the home? Where? In the bathroom. That is perfect. Y'all are thinking I'm kidding, but those are the 4 best places. Where is number 5? In your car's number 5. Look at this. Everyone.
Driving.
Huh?
Not while you're driving.
Well, you can only while you're parked at the red light for an hour like most of us. Huh? But those are truly the most 5 important places you need your manual. Keep your CC manual at one place and keep your CL manual at the other place and help us articulate for Northwest St. Vincent's. That's the toast of the day. Will you help me down, Toastmasters? That's great. That is perfect. Good. Great. Go right ahead. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I got it.
Dana's got
All right, thank you. Just so I'm not, around the corner. Okay, thank you. Perfect, y'all.
Thank you, Adrian. Now it's time for our first speaker, who is doing her 8th speech,
Hey, congratulations. Woo-hoo.
getting comfortable with visual aids.
Hey.
The title is CC. D. Shirley.
Hey.
CC.
Great.
And before Dee takes the stage here, I wanted to point out that the timer is on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th row right back there in front of you.
All right, thanks. Okay, hold on one second. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Today my title of my speech is CC. I don't want to be articulate today because I have a purpose. Everyone want to know what is my title today, right?
Right.
Got it. Ken's got it.
Oops. Okay, today my presentation is about
Forward.
right here. Okay, can I just? I want to play it. So I can get the second props. My first C is creative, and my second C is communication. Today my title is going to be creative communication. When we talk about creative communication, sometimes people want to be clear or articulate on their communication, right? But sometimes when you are not articulate, you will get people attention. Like today people ask me, what is CC? Misspelled, but it's not. So why we want to be creative? Because we want to maximize our chance to get the people attention and to make sure that people get the message and that message go to their memory. So how can we do it? We have to think outside the box and we have to be different. But sometimes different. You want to be different. You got to be bold, but you got to be careful. On this one is the advertise of the Oreo. Our Oreo Pride is a rainbow. This has got a lot of the criticize that is against the racial. So what else we can do to be creative? We can entertain the audience. Let's see. About technical problem.
Set fire to your hair, poke a stick at a grizzly bear, eat medicine that's out of date, use your private parts as piranha bait. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Get your toast out with a fork, do your own electrical work. Teach yourself how to fly, eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Invite a psycho killer inside, scratch a drug dealer's brand new ride. Take your helmet off in outer space, use a clothes dryer as a hiding place. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Keep a rattlesnake as a pet, sell both your kidneys on the internet. Eat a tube of super glue. I wonder, what's this red button do? Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dress up like a moose during hunting season. Disturb a nest of wasps for no good reason. Stand on the edge of a train station platform. Drive around the boom gates at a level crossing. Run across the tracks between the platforms. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly dumbest ways to die. Dumbest ways to die. Dumbest ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Be safe around trains. A message from Metro.
This is one of the advertising that is very creative, and this one have 52 million views. So this is one of the sample about the be creative about your communication. Next one is you can let the audience read. You don't have to communicate anything. And I have another sample is how easy way subtitle. But I think I ran out of time, so I might have to skip that one. In the advertise is all they have is just show you the picture, but they don't have any people speaking at all. So you can keep the people attention by the audience will read whatever they on the advertise. So that is one way that you can get the people attention. And to be creative communication, the only thing and the most important thing that you have to do is you need to know your target audience. So you know that what they like to hear, what they like to listen. So I think that's it for my presentation today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dee. I just have one question. What were you doing when you found that video? What were you looking for? Our next speaker is doing her second speech. She's new to this bell thing. LaTanya Bynum is doing Organize Your Speech. The title is Smart Goal System. Run Your Life on a Quarter. LaTanya Bynum.
Okay, here we are. They're so serious face. I'm saying D is one hard act to follow, but I'm going to try my best to hang in there. Like I said, like Wanda said, the title of my speech today is Smart Goal System, Run Your Life on a Quarter. And I hope everyone has their little handout and you can kind of follow me along, but pay attention. This is an interactive presentation. I hope that you guys will kind of help me out as I go along. Just to get started, I'd like to start with some thoughts to get you thinking in terms of where I'm going with the presentation. Who can tell me what is the number one killer in the U.S.? What do most people die from? Public speaking, that's one. Heart disease? Cancer, okay, that's among the top 3. What day of the week do you think most people have heart attacks? Which is the number one killer, by the way? Mondays. Why would you say Monday? And you're getting back stressed, okay. What part of the day on Monday, which is actually the correct answer, what part of the day do you think the most heart attacks occur?
6 a.m.
In the mornings, afternoons, or at night? Mornings, okay. And then the last question, why do most heart attacks occur? What do you think the number one reason is? The stress, the heart stops beating. Any other ideas? Anxiety, okay. To get you thinking in terms of where I'm headed with my speech, I am submitting to you today that a lot of people who are headed towards work on that Monday morning after partying all weekend or doing whatever, the majority of these people are going to jobs that probably they hate. They probably don't even want to go to work that morning. They're not doing anything that's really tapping into their skills, abilities, their talents, so they feel depressed, perhaps. So today I'm going to discuss with you the SMART goals. I'm going to talk about the SMART system for creating goals, and I'm going to provide you with an invitation to apply the SMART system to your personal life and your career goals. Tony Robbins said, "Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible." The background on why I chose this topic it's actually based on evidence. Mr. Edwin Locke and his colleagues reviewed laboratory and field studies on the effects of goal setting on performance. They found that in 90% of these studies, specific and challenging goals led to higher performance rather than easy goals or do it your best goals or no goal or having no goals at all. Can someone give me their own personal definition of a goal? Goal? An aspired target. That's good. Adrian?
Complete.
That's good. Any others? Just one more? Rachel? Planned. Okay, those are all good definitions. I actually went to Webster and then thought in terms of goals that pertain to me. A goal is an aim or a desired plan to succeed, the object of a person's ambition or effort. Goals affect the performance and they actually motivate you. It's something personal, a passion, something that drives you to do better. They should be specific and challenging, and most of all, must be written in a documented format. Back to what Tony Robbins said, visualizing and actually seeing it on paper can make the difference sometimes. SMART goals. So who's heard of SMART goals before I get into this? Most of you have, okay. SMART goals help improve achievement and success. A SMART goal clarifies exactly what is to be expected and the measures used to determine if the goal is achieved or successfully completed. The S in SMART answers 5 W's. It answers what is the goal set for? Why is the goal important? Who is responsible for the goal? Where will the goal take place? And which set of resources or tools or skills do you need to bring to the table in order to complete the goal? Specific goals are distinct, concrete, and defined as much as possible. You have to make sure that you articulate your goals clearly by documenting them in written format. A goal is meaningful to you and is and is what most would consider as TMI, too much information. Measurable. It answers the question, how much, how many, how will I know when it's completed, and a measurement also gives you feedback to show you whether or not you're making accurate progress towards the goal. A measurement helps you to stay on track, and it lets you know when the goal is complete. The A in SMART is assignable, which tells you who is responsible for the goal. Is the goal directed towards a team of people or an individual? And it also helps to identify support to accomplish that goal, which can be resources, a champion voice, or someone to knock down the obstacles before you go through the door. The R is realistic. Goal has to be relevant and feasible. Realistic goals are challenging yet attainable within the given time frame. Remember to keep it real. And last, time bound. The time frame should be within 90 days or on a quarterly basis. Hence, the quarter on your fact sheet was the quarterly. We run things on a quarterly cycle in businesses. So that 90-day cycle, I think, is important. It kind of gives you that short-term time frame so that you know you are about to complete it, and it's not going to take all year long to complete that goal. Should be aggressive and challenging, yet realistic, and rewards such as money are given for reaching the goal in the allotted time frame. So here's an example of some personal goals that I have for myself. Socialize with extended family member, that's a goal, but to be more smart, you could say call my cousin at least once a week to check on her. So that's something more concrete, and you can read the others. Here are some career goals. In the next 90 days, I will create a document, which is kind of vague, but to be more specific, prepare a template for an annual Arkansas Sign-On report. Fact sheet will be reviewed and posted on the ADH website. My challenge to you today, Healthmasters, is to create 3 SMART personal goals and keep them private. Sometimes when you share your personal goals with other people, they might not agree with you, or they might shy you away from completing them. So I always say keep those goals private. For your career goals, you can share those with a supervisor, a mentor, or a trusted colleague. Every 90 days, review your SMART goals to see if you are able to accomplish any of them. Then set new goals or work on old ones. In 12 months' time, you should have completed 24 goals and 1 to grow for the quarter, 25. Last but not least, I'd like to leave you with this quote. If you set goals and go after them with all the determination you muster, your gifts will take you places that will amaze you. Thank you, Miss Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, LaTanya. And if you have any leftover handouts, I could take those and off your hands. Somebody asked me if there was a theme for today, and I said I did not come up with one. One reason I didn't is because it seems like sometimes the speeches automatically follow a theme, and that seems to be the case today, with our third speaker also speaking on Inspire Your Audience, which is the 10th speech in the Competent Communicator Manual. Tony Bailey is speaking on Be the Change. So, Be the Change, Tony Bailey.
That didn't work. Figure out how to turn this on. Yeah, I did that already. There it is. Does that work? Does it work? I don't think I'll need it. Can y'all hear me without it? Good. Good. I'll let you have this back. Good morning, my fellow Toastmasters. I get the opportunity to attempt to inspire you today. So as we've heard all the other speeches, and they did a very good job of articulating. I have that song in my head now, Dumb Ways to Die. And hopefully I'll get you past that with my speech. So as we think about the world is broken. The world has many problems. It is morally and spiritually bankrupt. Let's be honest, the world has issues. And I don't care what your view is, you can think of probably 10 different problems that you would like to see changed. So if you read the news or if you listen to the news, then sometimes you're surprised at some of the unthinkable things that you might hear. How many times do you hear the news or read the news and you think, I never thought I would hear that. I never thought I would see that. And so oftentimes we're still surprised. And we're surprised about things of corruption, of crime, or abuse, neglect, whatever the issues might be. But my question to you today is, why are we in the condition that we're in? Why does the world look the way that it looks? Have you ever thought about that? I submit to you that the world is in such a horrible place because of us. Because of our own selfishness. Because of our desire to please self at the expense of others. So what do we need to do? We need to change. We need to change. How are we going to do that change? The change starts within. So some of you can go back to 1988 and remember a very popular song by Michael Jackson. Now, most of you would know the song, but you may not realize which album it came from. Because there are some other really popular songs on this album, like Bad and Billie Jean. But we're talking about The Man in the Mirror. How many of you remember those lyrics? And so it starts a little bit like this. He says, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. If you want to see the world, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a, wow. Y'all be singing that the rest of the day. In order for the world to change, we must believe that there is good in the world. But not only believe that there is good in the world, but be the good. Now, we can't just talk about it. The world has plenty of problems. We can talk about it all day. But if we never, ever provide any solutions, then what happens? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. You see, if you really want something to change, or you really want to do something, you can. But if you don't, you can always make an excuse. You know, we're good at passing the buck. Not my responsibility. Or it's not time for that yet. I thought somebody else was going to do that. Or I'll do it tomorrow. And yet, nothing seems to change. See, Socrates says the secret of change is to focus all of our energies not on fighting the old, but building on the new. I can complain all I want about how bad things are, but I'm spending way too much energy on that. I need to spend my energy on the new, on change. So last week, Nathaniel brought up Dr. Seuss and Green Eggs and Ham. And I love Dr. Seuss. And I found this quote. It says, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. How simple can that be? So if you change nothing, nothing will change. How many of you can think of one thing that you need to change or that you could change? Anybody? I see a lot of. If the world is going to be different, then we have to change attitudes, change behaviors, change directions. We must be the change. An African proverb goes a little like this, and it articulates change in this manner. It says, if you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping in a room, a closed room, with a mosquito. What a thought. This is where this speech originated from. The great Mahatma Gandhi. He says, be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change. Make a difference. So I want to share something personal with you this morning or this afternoon. So every morning, start my day with prayer. And part of my prayer goes a little like this. This is only part. Being a Baptist preacher, I can pray for a long time, but this is only part of it. It goes a little like this. It says, Lord, let me be a blessing to someone today according to your will. Let the light of salvation be visible. Let my actions and conduct reflect that of your Son, Jesus Christ, that your glory might be known in me, through me, and by me. Ultimately, let a seed be sown, a soul nurtured, a life eternally changed through my witness of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tony. That reminds me of what's the serenity prayer? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know that the thing is me. That's a different version. That's another version I've heard before. The wisdom to know that the thing that I can change is me. The next part of our program is, we just got done with the prepared speeches. Now we're going to do the impromptu speeches, led by Ms. Q.
We had some awesome speeches today, and our table topics will actually be centered around each individual speech. So the first question is based on creative communication. If you could offer one piece of advice to a new health master about competent communication, what would it be? June. No, it can't be D. She spoke already. I'm sorry. Okay, Tanisha. I can repeat it. If you could offer one piece of advice to a new health master about competent communication, what would it be? Thank you. Okay. Our next question is centered around LaTonya's speech, SMART Goals. What's more important, the journey or the goal? Nathaniel.
All intellectual on our questions today. Which one is more important, the journey or the goal? For me, goal is just a target that I'm trying to aspire to. Now, the journey to get to that target means that maybe something in me is going to have to change for that goal can even be realized. Sometimes, just because I can articulate a goal doesn't mean I have what it takes to even get to that goal. So sometimes, just by setting that goal, I have to sit down and go step by step, what am I going to do to achieve that goal? So that becomes part of the journey. I don't think I can separate the journey from the goal, but without the journey, there is no need for the goal. And without the goal, there'll be no need for me to go on that journey. So I think they're synonymous, one and the same in the sense of I can't have that goal unless I sit down and make a plan, make a map out for that journey. Madam Toastmaster.
The next question is centered around Tony Bailey's speech, Be the Change. When it is all said and done, will you have said more than you have done? Dana.
Will I have said more than I have done? That is the question.
When it is all said and done, will you have said more than you have done?
I'm sure that's probably true. I think with most people that is true. We aspire to make changes in our lives, and we aspire to make changes in others' lives. I'm working on that through everything I do in my career and through my life. However, I do feel and am afraid personally that I will die without making all the differences that I want to make. I'm constantly refreshing my goals, setting new goals, trying to change myself. But I still feel like there's a tug in me that will make me have that feeling that I will not be able to meet and do everything that I wanted to do in this life. My hope and desire is that the things that I do say may also make changes in people's lives in a positive way, not negatively, and that the things that I do will also make a difference. Thank you.
And the last question is a reflection of all of our speeches. All of our speeches focused on change and growth. So my last question is this. Would you rather lose all of your old memories or the ability to make new memories? Tammy.
Now, part of that walking around was to take time to articulate my answer. You got to kill the minutes when you can. All right. Say the question one more time.
Would you rather lose all of your old memories or lose the ability to create new memories?
Wow. The old memories have made me who I am. Without them, I would be someone totally different. Without any old memories, I'd be nothing but a blank slate. The ability to not create memories means I stop growing. I don't want to do that either. I'm a lifelong learner, whether it be in the classroom here or anywhere else. If I had to choose between one or the other, I would rather lose my old memories. I can go back and learn them again. But if I can't learn new memories, I'm stagnant.
You guys did a great job articulating.
Thank you. In the interest of time, we will get straight to the evaluation portion. And since it is 14 till, let's make sure that we keep the evaluations short, brief, and to the point. Articulate them well. That's one reason we're running a little behind, is because everybody's trying to articulate really well. Tammy, you're up again to do General Evaluator.
Well, we're trying to keep Dewey from ringing that little bell. I tell you. You know, we really don't want to do that. As general evaluator, I'm going to articulate real quickly what I do. I will evaluate the evaluators. I will evaluate the all-counter, the grammarian, and then give us a general idea of what we did well, what we didn't do well as a group in this meeting. Okay, let's begin with the first evaluator. See if we can get some of our time back. Gloria.
Thank you. I will try to be articulated today. It was a pleasure to hear and see the presentation today. The title, it wasn't articulated. It was like a very intrigued me, very nice title. You management very well your presentation, regardless the technical difficulties. The visual aids were appropriate. The message was clear, and the purpose and the speech was well researched. I would just suggest a little more engage with the audience, and also probably more just use your body language is whatever I would suggest that. Like I said, the title intrigued me. The explanation of that title was very good, and it was very articulated. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria. Dana will evaluate speaker number 2, LaTanya.
Thank you. Thank you. LaTanya, you did a great job today, your second speech. That's really good to have the presentation that you had, the research that you did. Today, LaTanya's speech was about organizing your speech. So I really took a really close look at the way she did her preparation, her organization, her opening body, conclusion, and transitions. It was good for everyone in the room. So it did have value. You had a lot of preparation with your presentation, with the handout, which I thought was very nice with the quarter on it. Gave us a really good visual, and the PowerPoint that you did. The organization, which is mainly the biggest part of this whole speech, is one thing that I would say you need to improve on. And let me explain why, very short, very quickly. You had a very good opening with the way that you asked the questions and gave us the facts about the heart attack. But I couldn't really see how that played into the speech other than the performance. But the performance is not necessarily due to the heart attack, it's the stress of having to go to work. So I couldn't really see that transition. So therefore, and then the quarter being such a great idea at the end, you didn't talk about until the very end. I saw the whole speech, I was wondering, what's that quarter about? What's that quarter about? Because I thought this has got to be good. I put a quarter in a piggy bank when I do a workout at my house. When I go for a walk, I pay myself a quarter. I take it out of my purse and put it in the piggy bank. So I thought maybe that was something you were going to tell us to do, is use a quarter to pay yourself. Therefore, if you will just tie your speech together just a little bit more with the transitions, it would be perfect. It was a great speech. It was something everybody can use, and I appreciate it, and I look forward to many more. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Susan. She will evaluate speaker number 3.
I liked your speech very much. I got the impression it was an inspirational speech, which I really liked. And I'm glad that you spoke louder so I could hear. But I noticed when you're talking to get emphasis at the end of the sentence, you trailed off. I'm not trying to make a criticism, but it was trailing off to where I couldn't finish the sentence, what you were saying. But I did like how you engaged the audience of what you were talking about. And as far as I know, I assume the rest of the audience enjoyed the speech. And other than the trailing off with your voice, I don't see anything wrong with your speech.
Thank you, Susan. Philip, will you give us our grammarian report, please?
Wow, tremendous use of the word of the day. I think next time I'm grammarian, I will pick a word that has nothing to do with speaking or communication, maybe like ecru or chalupa. We'll try to see how well you can use that. Pretty much everyone used the word of the day at least once. As far as who used it the most, I have a two-way tie between Wanda and Gloria, using it 3 times each. Also using it, Adrian, Dee, Latanya, Tony, Tanisha, Nathaniel, Tammy, and Q. You all used it at least once. As always, very well-structured sentences throughout the meeting, very good grammar. I did notice, Dee, in particular in your speech, especially since you had the visual aid that showed us some of the content of your speech, and then with my grammarian hat on, trying to listen very carefully to your words. I think there are times when it doesn't, sometimes the final consonant of a word doesn't exactly come out, or we can't quite hear it maybe through the microphone. And so instead of sometimes, we hear sometime, or instead of communications, we hear communication. And I noticed there was at least one time that you used the word audience very clearly, and then the second time I didn't quite hear the S at the end of it. So just a little bit of something there to be mindful of. I noticed, other than that, I noticed a little bit of uses of the word kinda instead of kind of, and I noticed several uses of gonna instead of going to. And I think part of the reason for that, I'll go ahead and mention the audio-visual hang-ups that we had with all 3 speakers. I know that's not necessarily a grammarian's thing to listen for or give an opinion on, but I've given plenty of speeches where the audio-visual didn't quite work as well as I thought it would, and in every time that I look back at those speeches, I'm sure that I dropped my level down a notch as far as professionality, as far as presentation skills, and those might have been the kind of speeches where I stuck in a gonna or a kinda or something like that I might not normally say. And it's unfortunate, it's part of learning how to communicate in different scenarios, but really the analogy that I would use is all 3 of our speakers had to step into the kiddie pool, the shallow end of the pool. Nobody got to really get up here and dive into the deep end, so maybe in a future meeting we can practice that kind of a skill. Otherwise, good communication throughout. And back over to Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you. Okay, in the interest of time, our banner is displayed. The meeting went very well overall. We did have some glitches here and there, ran over a little bit on speeches, had some hang-ups getting to the speeches. Am I forgetting something, Rachel? Timers report, I'm sorry. Let's do the timers report. I apologize, about to close out on you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Today, we started off today with the program starting at 12:02. The Odd Counter report by Dewey was 56 seconds. The word of the day by Philip was 1 minute and 19 seconds. The Madam Toastmaster, your introduction for speaker number 1 was 22 seconds. Speaker 1, you went 8 minutes and 40 seconds, and not really including every, considering the technical difficulties you had, not considering everything. Speaker number 2, you went 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Speaker 3, 7 minutes and 27 seconds. Table topics went 1 minute and 50 seconds, including Tanisha, you went 43 seconds. Nathaniel, you went 58 seconds. Dana, you went 1 minute and 16 seconds. And Tammy, you went 1 minute and 6 seconds. Also, the evaluator, Gloria, you went 1 minute and 7 seconds. Dana, you went 1 minute and 56 seconds. Evaluator number 3, Susan, you went 46 seconds. And Philip, you went 2 minutes and 47 seconds.
Well, that wraps up a lot of what I was talking about, doesn't it? And us being slightly over. Gloria did a great job with evaluating, giving us the good and some ways to improve for D. Dana did a great job with evaluating. Latanya and Susan did a very good job with evaluating Tony. Overall, I think the meeting was great. We are actually going to get out on time because I'm going to shut up now and turn it back over to Dana.
No more for the Healthmaster?
She told me to do that.
Okay, thank you. We do have one guest today, and I'm so happy to have you here. Would you mind standing? Two guests. Oh, someone at the back. You snuck in too. All right, let's start with you then. If you don't mind, would you stand and tell us your name, please? And anything else you want to say?
Hi, my name is Cicely Jackson, and I was invited by Tanisha. And
Way to go, Tanisha.
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. And we have one more guest.
Ray, I was been invited by Dewey for the past, 6-8 months.
Dewey. Good job, Dewey. Thank you for coming. We are so happy to have you. We hope you will consider joining us. Come back again anytime. If you have any questions, let us know. And we'd like your addresses and email addresses and names. Please, if you can, leave it. Do we have the guest book out?
Yes.
Okay. If you'll sign that for us, we'll get back with you. Thank you. Do we have any business? We do have business. Philip, where's the meeting next Monday? It's not next Monday.
2508.
So it's going to be on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to be in 2508. Is that the lab training room? Where we've been before, the lab training room. But it's on Tuesday. So everyone have a wonderful holiday. Thank you for coming. Meeting adjourned. Yes?
Morning and call it 11:30.